what tends to exacerbate insomnia is you staying in bed, not being able to fall asleep. And so what happens? You get stressed out, you start getting anxiety because you're like, I'm still not falling asleep. You look at the clock, it's already 3 or 4 a.m. You're like, man, I have to get up at 6 or 7 a.m. I don't have much time to fall asleep. So that those thoughts all contribute to the anxiety and the stress. And so your brain starts associating the bed with stress and anxiety the longer
Mm,
you stay in it. So the idea with stimulus control is you leave the bed to break the association between stress, anxiety, and the bed and the bedroom and sleep. Because if you associate anxiety with being in your bed and in your bedroom, you start associating with sleep. And so the idea is you break that by leaving the bedroom whenever you can't fall asleep in 15 or 20 minutes. You go sit in a recliner, do something relaxing, something that's not stimulating. So watch a boring TV show, listen to music, meditate, read a book that's not too stimulating until you feel tired. And then whenever you feel tired, like you're about to fall asleep, then you go back in the bed and you repeat that cycle until you eventually fall asleep. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And I've also heard, I think we're so like to the point of you saying that we're stimulated by light. I think one of the most um, common things nowadays is before going to sleep, just looking at your phone, just kind of like checking up social media, seeing who texted, seeing what happened. And I've noticed honestly, whenever I eat at 7 and then I go to sleep around 10, 11, and I just read a book instead of using my screen. I've noticed that I just tend to have a better sleep that day. And it's just it's almost like if you want to like grow muscle and like build up, there's certain things that you have to do. Well, if you want better sleep, there's certain things that you have to do. The body is just like naturally created in that way.
yeah. I have had insomnia before. Have you ever had like insomnia?
I would say, thankfully, I haven't, but sometimes I have had those moments where I could only sleep like 5 hours or 3 hours, and then I would have to wake up because I just couldn't fall back into sleep. But it happens rarely.
We were talking about the weekend, how a lot of people, it's very common to sleep in on the weekend and then get up early Monday the next day. So like if you slept in on Sunday till like 9 or 10 a.m. and then Monday you got to get up at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. to go to work or school. Well, if you do that every single week and you think about it, like you're doing it every single week, you're resetting your sleep cycle, you're resetting your brain and the way it's used to getting up. And that's happening like a lot. So it's like when you think about it like that, you start realizing, wow, I'm really putting my brain through quite a time every week doing that. And so that's why one of the treatments for insomnia and sleep hygiene in general that's good for everyone is to go to sleep at the same time and to wake up at the same time because then you're not constantly, bombarding your brain with a new wake up time and sleep time. It's like you want to have consistency in that so your brain can get used to it and not have that sudden shift every week because sometimes it can lead to insomnia or sleep problems or other people it might just make them feel tired on Monday and Tuesday till their sleep cycle kind of gets back into the week.
So let's say, for example, somebody is struggling with insomnia right now, and they want to kind of fix it, but their schedule just kind of changes, right? One day they go finish work at 10, another day they finish at 6 p.m., and then it's just like constantly changing throughout the week. Is there a way that they could still manage to overcome that insomnia?
Yeah, so that's actually where a lot of shift work sleep disorders can come from is people who do a lot of shift work at night and they have to sleep during the day or it changes from week to week. That's
Hmm.
why it's quite common for people in those job positions to develop the shift work sleep disorder. Just for that reason, you're not getting a consistent sleep schedule. So the brain's constantly having to reset the circadian rhythm and the sleep cycle. So there's these things called sleep light boxes, I think, and it's like a thing like this that lights up and it's really bright. And then they have advanced ones and stuff. You can buy them on Amazon. And so people will put them on their desk, I think at work or during the day. when they're not sleeping, and so that light stimulus goes in and then keeps their circadian rhythm in the right place. And so I would say people who have shift work at night or they have to work at night and then they have to sleep during the day. Well, if they have to sleep during the day, they have to block out as much light as possible because, like I said, that circadian rhythm depends on the light to wake up and then the dark to sleep.
My body like starts feeling like sleepy at around 9, 10, 11. But then once I pass that time frame, my body just like stays awake
Yeah, it's like
because of
also
the blue light.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
energy. I noticed that too. Like whenever I was having insomnia pretty bad, I noticed that whenever I wouldn't be able to fall asleep past I would say around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., it's like all of a sudden the tiredness went away. And then I just had this energy. And then that energy drove these racing thoughts at night. And then that just did not be, it's like I couldn't stop thinking. I couldn't turn my brain off. Like it kept wanting to think about what are you going to do the next day? What's your plan for this? Oh, you still have to figure this out. There's this problem to solve. You, oh, what is this philosophy? Let's get into existentialism and let's think about physics and God and all this stuff. And it just
Yeah.
keeps going and going. And I'm like, God, I'm trying to fall asleep, just turn off and I can't turn it off. Or like we talked about before, how we both had our brain trying to solve math problems or we're trying to
Yeah, dude, I that's crazy that you had that too. Cause
yeah,
yeah, I remember.
yeah. So there you go. So like it's weird. Like it's weird how the brain it's like after you don't fall asleep by a certain time, the energy increases. You'd think it'd be the opposite.
Yeah. And what do people say that it's the best time to fall asleep? Because I know that there's like a time from between I've heard that there's a time from between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. where that's like the time frame naturally where your body can receive the most rest during that time. Once you pass that time frame after 2 p.m., the rest, time that you sleep from then on is just like it's still good, but it's not the best sleep.
Yeah. I actually don't know, but it seems like it's based on my experience, anecdotally, yeah, it seems like for me at least, if I stay up past 2, it's gonna be hard to fall asleep. If I go to bed around 9 or 10 or even close to 11, then I'm tired. I'm still kind of in that tired state of I feel like I can fall asleep.